you got to think that this award was custom made for Audie Murphy.
Good evening. America's most decorated soldier of World War II, Audie Murphy, used to refer modestly to himself as a fugitive from the law of averages. Now it appears the law of averages has caught up with Audie Murphy. On a wooded mountain near Roanoke, Virginia this afternoon, rescue workers found 6 bodies and no survivors in the remains of a private plane the 46-year-old Murphy and a group of businessmen had taken in a flight from Atlanta, Georgia last Friday. It had been believed there were only 5 men on the plane. There was no immediate explanation of the discrepancy. Murphy, who lived in North Hollywood, California, leaves a wife and 2 teenage sons.
He was the most decorated soldier of the greatest generation. We're talking about North Texas native Audie Murphy. He was honored with 33 international awards for his service in World War II. And it all happened before his 21st birthday. CBS 11's Bud Gillette reports today, though, the state of Texas did not award its highest military honor to Audie Murphy until this afternoon.
My grandpa used to hunt rabbits and just hang out with Audie Murphy.
It was a day everyone either knew stories about Audie Murphy or wanted their children to learn his story.
My great-grandfather was in World War II on both sides of my family, so I want them to see the importance of it.
It is the wartime service of Audie Murphy. Born in Hunt County and enlisted illegally at age 18, he nonetheless fought in Europe during World War II and in one famous encounter single-handedly held off 6 German tanks and 250 troops from a burned-out tank destroyer. He won the Congressional Medal of Honor.
I pledge allegiance to thee.
Texas had previously bestowed its highest military honor on 10 other servicemen, but it wasn't until today that it brought it to Audie Murphy's only living sister. Governor Rick Perry called him an extraordinary human being.
The courage that he mustered, the reflection of the Texas values.
Nadine Murphy-Loki accepted it with what was typical Murphy humility.
And I've always heard it said that you're not really dead until you're forgotten. So we don't want this to happen to our people that lost their lives, giving us our freedom.
Farmersville decided a long time ago it was not going to forget Audie Murphy. It hosts Audie Murphy Days here every June. Audie Murphy came home to be a movie star and horse breeder, but reportedly never shook off the effects of the war. He died in a small passenger plane crash in 1971. But his sister told me his story should be an inspiration to young people.
But I think they need to pick out something they want to be and stick with it and go with it.
Bud Gillette, CBS 11 News.
In other news, Audie Murphy, the most decorated man of World War II, who went on to become a movie star, was found dead this afternoon in the wreckage of a light plane in the hills of Virginia. The plane went down on Friday afternoon near the top of a mountain. The wreckage was located from the air this morning, and rescue teams reached the scene late this afternoon, but all 6 men on board were dead.
Governor Perry awarded the state's highest military honor to a late East Texas war hero today.
That ceremony took place in Farmersville, northeast of Dallas. KLTV 7's Mitch Golding was the only East Texas reporter at that event, and he spoke with Murphy's sister, who says more than 40 years after his death, the most important thing is to never forget our military heroes.
42 years after his death, Texas war hero Audie Murphy is awarded yet another Medal of Honor.
Knowing what an extraordinary human being he was, the courage that he mustered, the reflection of the Texas values.
Murphy's sister, Nadine Loki, accepted her brother's 34th medal from Governor Perry, something she calls a true honor.
I'm just awed by what he did. I don't know if he's at the right place at the right time or the wrong place at the right time. He would do anything for anybody. He worked hard. He loved his country, and he didn't mind fighting for it.
Audie Murphy received the Medal of Honor for his service in the Army during World War II, after his famous stand against German tanks during a battle in France, for which he is largely credited with saving the lives of many of his fellow soldiers. Just down the road from today's ceremony, Susan Lanning runs the Audie Murphy and American Cotton Museum in Greenville. partly as a tribute to the Hunt County native.
A lot of veterans come through, a lot of active military come through. They really enjoy the fact that, you know, we're trying to showcase them.
For his sister, that's what's most important, that heroes like Murphy continue to be remembered.
Heroes never die. As long as you remember them, they're still alive. We still love him. I'm proud of him.
A local hero still remembered decades after his death. Mitch Golding, KLTV 7 News.
Murphy died back in 1971 when a small private plane he was in crashed during bad weather. According to the U.S. Army, his gravesite is the second most visited at the Arlington National Cemetery, second only to President John F. Kennedy.
And knowing what an extraordinary human being he was, the courage that he mustered, the reflection of Texas values.
Audie Murphy is dead at the age of 46, holder of the Congressional Medal of Honor for Valor in World War II, an actor and businessman. His body and those of 5 other men were found in the wreckage of a light.
He is one of Texas's most famous faces from World War II.
Yeah, he earned 28 medals before his 21st birthday. But hometown supporters of Audie Murphy wanted to add another honor to that list, the Texas Legislative Medal of Honor. And today, Governor Rick Perry brought it home to Farmersville. Collin County reporter Catherine Ross was there.
We thank you for the life of Audie Murphy.
A hero's welcome for a soldier with a legacy written in stone and in history.
Things turned out like they did, you know, whether he's at the right place at the right time or right place at the wrong time.
Audie Murphy, the baby-faced young man who joined the Army during World War II and became one of the most decorated soldiers in U.S. history.
He would appreciate it, but he was just kind of shy.
His sister, Nadine Loki, remembers those famous stories, like Murphy climbing single-handed on top of a burning tank destroyer, driving back enemy forces.
Listen, if I was out there with bullets whizzing around me, I'd be dodging them too. I'd be shooting back.
It's a will to survive, she says her family had to learn, growing up sharecropping in Hunt County.
I think he just did what he had to do.
You got to think that this award was custom made for Audie Murphy.
And 4 decades after his untimely death, that bravery is being remembered with Texas's highest military award. It's the product of a hometown rallying for this recognition. An honor, his family says, not overdue, but just in time to teach a new generation.
It just happened now, and I'm glad it did.
In Farmersville, Catherine Ross, NBC5.
Murphy went on to achieve the rank of Army Major. He also, as Rick Mitchell was quick to point out for us, was famous for his acting career in Hollywood.
Please know that I don't know how we would be any more proud of our favorite son, Audie Murphy. We're going to all work very hard. We're going to work very hard to keep his memory, his spirit alive. We'll do so because first it's the right thing to do for a man who gave so much for his community and for his state and for his country. But it's also, we do it because he remains a shining example for anyone who believes in the importance of service.
Let's love our country, pray for our leaders, pray for our soldiers, pray for the ones that's lost loved ones over yonder. And I've always heard it said that you're not really dead until you're forgotten. So we don't want this to happen to our people that lost their lives, giving us our freedom. Hey, is America great or what? Yeah!